Welcome to Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by LA's First Choice Auto Auction on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. It's your chance to hear directly from the head of Lion Football. Now, live from Topala Catering in downtown Hammond, here's Alan Waddell.
Saturday afternoon, our Lions celebrated Senior Day in Strawberry Stadium and saved their best performance to date for the Cowboys. Our Lions absolutely dominated the 11th-ranked McNeese State Cowboys 23-6 in front of our home crowd. Our defense was absolutely dominant as they held the Cowboys to under 200 yards for the game and only 21 yards rushing on 28 attempts. Offensively, we saw a big-time performance from Juice Marcelin as the senior running back rushed for 88 yards and a touchdown on 13 carries against statistically the best rush defense in the Southland Conference. This win certainly gives the Lions some momentum as they'll have their bye week this weekend before wrapping up the season against the hated Nicholls State Colonels on Thursday, the 15th, for the River Bell Classic. Good evening, Lion fans. I'm Alan Waddell, and I want to welcome you to Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction, live from our home, Topala, right here in Hammond. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you may be tonight, whether on the Lions Radio Network or watching live on Facebook or the archive on YouTube. We'll be with you until 8 o'clock, and over the next hour, we'll get Coach Scelfo's thoughts on the big win against McNeese State, and also defensive coordinator Louis Chofie is here and wide receiver coach Michael Spurlock, and we'll hear from them about this dominant performance this past weekend. Let's take a break, and when we come back, I'll be joined by the head football coach of your Southeastern Lions, Frank Scelfo. Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo is presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topala on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
Hey Lion fans, your defending Southland Conference champions return to the court very soon. We are very excited about this season. Get your season tickets now. It's going to be a great year. Line up.
Imagine life without football. No Friday night lights, no pep rallies, no band. All that time invested to teach young men and women commitment and team spirit, gone. Football, where young men and women compete to be the best, where bands, cheerleaders, and countless others take part in the team experience. Celebrate the passion that only happens every fall. Join the game.
All right, welcome back here to Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction in Topala on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. And at this time, I want to welcome to the show the head football coach of your Southeastern Lions, Coach Frank Scelfo. And, Coach, congratulations on a big win this past Saturday against the Cowboys.
Yeah, it was good. Great team effort. Thought we played well, played with a lot of passion, enthusiasm, and beautiful day. Crowd got into it, and, the game kind of went, the way we hoped it would go, to tell you the truth.
Coach, I know I told you last week right here on our program that people around these parts were not too fond of those Cowboys over there from Lake Charles, and they haven't won in Strawberry Stadium since 2010. That's certainly a streak that we were glad to continue, as this was
me too.
No doubt about it. But, Coach, I mentioned in the open, I mean, your defense was absolutely dominant. I think that was certainly the story of the game. They had 180 yards in the game. They had 21 yards rushing on 28 attempts. certainly this was a big-time defensive effort from your club.
Yeah, and I thought, our guys all week long have been hearing how great McNeese's defense is. And they are. They really are. They're a good football team. They do a good job over there. Lance Guidry has done a good job during his time there. But maybe our guys are just tired of hearing about that stuff. And we kind of wanted to show what we were about. And we had them at home. And, I think that Louis Chofie and the defensive staff did a great job putting together a plan. We executed the plan, and our guys did a good job. I thought we tackled really well the other night. We had some open field opportunities, and we posted guys up and did a good job of that. So, the way we played defensively, I'm not sure we could have played any better.
Coach, the other theme certainly for this one was it was senior day in Strawberry Stadium, and I thought you had some seniors that had some big performances.
We did, and you always like to see things like that happen. Jim Spates came in and punted for us and dropped 2 inside the 5-yard line. Just flipped the field, which was awesome to see. You mentioned about Juice. Him breaking that run on 3rd and 1 was really, really broke the back of those guys because we knew they wasn't going to score much after that. And we had guys step up across the board, Kyle Strickland playing a tackle, and all our guys on defense, John Miller and Tamarcus Russell and Zeke Walker and, guys like that. Just doing Braylon Thorns with the interception in the end zone on the first drive. I mean, when guys like that are supposed to step up, it's their senior day. It's their day. And for them to be able to do those things, really cool to watch.
Coach, I thought offensively, a word that just comes to mind against those guys is I thought it was efficient. I thought you had an efficient day offensively, almost perfect balance on the day, 160 yards rushing, 162 passing, but rushing for 160 yards against McNeese. They were averaging giving up under 100 yards a game against the rush this year. So I thought you did a really good job running the football against those guys, especially when you had the lead late and they knew you were running the football and you were still able to do it.
Well, we said all along, we wanted to be more physical on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and we did that the other day. And for us to be tested by, to test yourself, you got to go against the best they got. And McNeese was the best one we faced besides LSU as far as running the football. So we were able to do that. We controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. And, like you said, offensively, you want to be able to run the ball when they know you're going to run it and you're still able to do it. And that's a tribute to our guys, man. Just, buckling up the chin straps and getting after it on the line of scrimmage.
Coach, we've talked about Chasen Virgil, obviously a lot this year leading your football team. He's thrown for 2,800 yards, 17 touchdowns on the year, averaging nearly 300 yards a game passing, one of the top passers in FCS football. If you look at his stat line for this one, he was 14-28 for only 162 yards. He did throw a touchdown, but I would argue that this was maybe his best game. I thought he protected the football and commanded the offense.
Yeah, decision-making was good, Alan. Even when you go back and look at the film, you go, that's why you did that. Good. Threw some balls away. There wasn't anything there. Threw it away. They took a couple of things away. He did a good job checking at the line of scrimmage on multiple occasions that put us in the right play, especially in the run game, gave us an opportunity. I thought his decision-making was real good. We didn't turn the football over. He took care of it. He did those things. But I thought offensively he was really, like you said, efficient was a good word for that.
Coach, if I'd have told you before the game
don't do it.
That you were going to have 2 block punts and muff 2 punts in this game and give them the football deep in the territory and you hold them to 6 points, I don't think you would have liked that. But it did happen. It was a windy day, and their punter did get a lot of height on some of those punts, and they were tough to field. I thought the first one, I know they had thrown a penalty or thrown a flag that was going to be kick-catch interference. They ended up waving that off. But I think that's even more impressive what the defense did, is they were in some tough spots in this game and just kept turning them away.
We've been so good on those 2 units, punt and punt return. We've been so efficient on those 2 aspects of what we do, and for that to happen the other day was really disappointing. We'll go back to the drawing board and get those things fixed, and we had some new guys in there, but the guy, when it's your time to step up, you got to be able to step up. So we'll get those things corrected and move forward on that. But we put our defense in some bad situations early, and and one of those was the interception in the end zone on 4th down by Braylon. Flando made a heck of a play over there on a coverage standpoint, and Braylon came over and picked it off. But that was right after that punt where they got the ball down there again, and we stopped them. I mean, it was a huge play, turnaround for the game.
No doubt about that. You did block a punt as well.
We did, got our first one. Yeah, it did. Jocko Price came off the edge. He's so long. He's like a big, long drink of water, man. He came flying off the edge around the corner and got a hand on it, and we turned it over right there. So that was a big play for us too, because we got 3 points out of that.
Coach, certainly your pass rush can amp up when you're playing with the lead, especially late in the ball game. I thought we really got after the quarterback well in this one. Isaac Adame Berglund, he had a couple of sacks, and this one I think he also had 2.5 tackles for loss in this game as well. So he was named Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Week and also Louisiana Sports Writers Association Player of the Week as well. Big game for him. Yeah,
it really was. He's been effective and consistent all year long. He's gradually getting better and better each week, especially from the pass rush standpoint. He does a good job in the run game. You saw a couple of those on the tackle for losses. So Will Douglas came in and had 2 sacks.
Yep.
How about that? So that was pretty cool to watch him. Trey Spann, I think, picked up the other sack. So I think it was a team effort. Us controlling the line of scrimmage freed up some of those guys on the edge. So I think our interior guys did a nice job there.
I don't want to shorten. He had 4 tackles for loss in this game, not 2.5. So 4 tackles for loss in this game. And you mentioned it, 5 total sacks for your unit. And it didn't matter who was playing quarterback. They started. They started the Orgeron kid, and then we were able to knock him out of the game. They went to Tabery, knocked him out of the game. They brought Orgeron back in. So it didn't matter who was in there. You were able to get after.
Yeah, they went through 3 guys and then ended back up with Orgeron. So they had 4 quarterback changes in there. But I thought we did a good job. For a quarterback to hold on to the football, coverage has to be really good, and I thought we did a good job on that. We did some things in the secondary, maybe confused him a little bit, had him hold on to the football. So it freed up some of our guys. But we were relentless up front. I thought we played with so much energy, and those guys couldn't match it.
Also played on their side of the line of scrimmage a lot.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I get the benefit of being down there on the field and seeing that, but it just seemed like every play we were in the backfield.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, when we're playing physical and can push the line of scrimmage and play on their side of the ball, on either side, offense or defense, that's a huge advantage for us. But I think with Isaac coming off the edge, Will coming off the edge, and then those guys pushing the middle, it created a small room for the quarterback, and he struggled back there.
Jonathan Tatum also had a big game in this one. He made 3 field goals on the day, including a 40-yarder in the first half, really when the game was tight. And it was a 40-yarder, but probably felt a little longer than that because that wind was blowing pretty stiff in his face. You had the confidence to roll him out there. He was 3 for 3 on the day. He was named Louisiana Sports Writers Association Special Team Player of the Week. And, again, he continues a solid campaign, 14 of 18 this year on field goals.
Look, I've said it all along, man. The guy does a good job. He was good in camp for us. Consistent. He does everything you ask him to do, works his tail off, and we just got a lot of confidence in him. We got that first game against Monroe. Why would you send him out there? Well, because we got a lot of confidence in him, and he's shown, we know we need him all year long to win games and to be competitive in games, and he's come through for us all the time. So, he's such a good kid, and we're going to miss him. It's a senior, again, another senior who, came up big on senior day.
No doubt about it. Lions win this one 23-6 against McNeese, who came into the game ranked 11th in the country. It really wasn't as close. We win by 17. It wasn't that close. Lions totally dominated this football game against the Cowboys. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about this one right here on Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for providing the facilities to meet my health and nutritional needs in order for me to be the best student athlete I can be.
For making game day experiences go from ordinary to extraordinary.
For allowing me to meet new people and build lifelong friendships while competing at the school I love.
For giving me the resources to pursue my degree and the ability to excel in the classroom.
For helping me look my best as I compete and achieve my goals.
Thank you.
Domestic violence and sexual assault is an issue affecting college campuses all across the country.
Every student has the right to pursue an education free from violence.
As a coach and leader of young men
and women, I know I play a pivotal role in creating the culture our students live in.
Here at Southeastern, we are committed to changing the culture. Sexual violence and physical abuse are never okay.
Lions just don't stand by. We act.
I am pledging to do my part.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am the solution.
And I will set the expectation.
Each summer, student-athlete leaders from the Southland Conference's 13 schools get together for a retreat. Before we start another season of competition, there's time to have some fun and bond. We also share experiences of serving our campuses and communities. Together, Southland student-athletes completed more than 30,000 community service hours over the past year. We pull for each other and push to make each other better. Just part of what makes us Southland strong.
across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
All right, welcome back here to Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. If you're just joining us, Lions win this past week 23-6 over McNeese State. Came into this game ranked 11th in the country. We've got a couple of coaches that are here with us today. They're going to jump in and do a couple of segments with us as well. First time we had the chance to do that this year because you got the bye week this week.
So they got a little bit of free time tonight. Normally they're working.
No doubt about it, but we're going to get to hear from a couple of those guys here coming up, so make sure you stick around for that. We're going to kind of walk through this one, talk about some big plays in the game against McNeese State. It was an afternoon kickoff, a 2:30 kickoff against McNeese on Senior Day in Strawberry Stadium. And we kind of touched about this earlier, but really the first sequence of the game really set the tone for the game. As you come out, you hold them, they punt the football to us, we actually muff the punt, they get the ball at our 21-yard line, and they end up getting it down inside the 5. They have a 4th down and goal from the 2, and they go for it, and you're able to get the big interception. Huge sequence of the game, really set the tone.
Yeah, again, it's guys making plays when they had the opportunity to do it. Braylon Thorne's a senior on Senior Day and comes up with the big interception. I was surprised they didn't kick the field goal at that time. I thought they might have kicked it, but I guess them feeling they're not going to have a lot of opportunities to get down there that close. Let's take a chance on scoring a touchdown, trying to get one of those, and it backfired. So it's good for us.
I thought it was big as well because if usually you go for it down there, you get pinned back, but we were able to get a little return out of there and get the ball, so we didn't start deep in our own 5.
Absolutely, he returned it, I think, about to the 25, so a 20-yard line, right around in there. So it was like a touchback, and we got the ball back. Good start for us.
So really, from that point on in the first quarter, it was kind of just back and forth. We couldn't really get anything going. I know we had a slant over the middle to Juwan for a first down, but they were doing a good job getting us off the field. And I really felt like early on it was really the two teams trying to fill each other out.
They did. We were there was some stuff happening up front. They had a lot of movement that they previously hadn't shown. So we had to make some adjustments offensively. I think the big key on those were those early punts that Jim was able to nail those things, get them down inside the 5-yard line. And that put them in a position where, especially our defense, the way we were playing, I think it intimidated them. I think they struggled to be able to get out of that area and move the ball down the field, and we ended up with good field position again.
Coach, if I'd have told you also, this is another one of those stats that I don't know if anybody that was breaking down this game before the game would have thought that we'd have had more sacks against them than they did against us. I thought we did a pretty good job. They got to us a couple of times. B.J. Plunt's one of the top players in our conference. He got a sack on us.
Yeah, maybe the best one, yeah.
But, I thought our offensive line did a pretty good job holding up. And again, that's also on Chasen. He didn't hold the football. When there was nothing there, he got rid of it.
He did. And like I said, he made some good decisions the other night as far as getting the ball out of his hands. But I thought up front, we ran the ball. We came off the football, so we were able to run it. And when you're able to do that, those guys just can't line up and tee off on you. Greg had a good plan about getting the ball out of Chasen's hands pretty quick at times, especially in certain down and distance situations where we felt like pressure was going to come. So it worked out for us. I thought, again, the preparation going into this game was really good.
Lions jump on top in this one in the second quarter. All the scoring started there in the second quarter with a touchdown pass from Chasen Virgil to Juwan Petit-Frere. This was a great throw. Yeah. Juwan did a great job getting his feet down to take the lead in this one.
Yeah, it was a corner out. It was a double under with a corner on top by the third receiver, and really their cornerback kind of misplayed it. He fell off of his receiver and kind of fell underneath that route, and Chasen had to really get it to the back corner, and he did, and Juwan got it there, and like you said, got his feet down. But it was a heck of a throw and catch. It was similar to one he threw a couple of weeks earlier to Jake and Graffia in the back corner of the end zone on the other side. Same end zone, just on the other side.
Coach, talk about the decision for the onside kick.
Yeah, we had studied them during the course of the week, and we felt like that was going to be a good spot for us. We said if on the first kick, we planned on doing it on the second one. We said on the first kick, if they do what we expect them to do, we're going to do it on the second one. And they did it exactly what we thought, and we came out on the second one. Nathan really had a pretty good kick. We just kind of gave it away. We had some guys a little anxious up there, gave it away, and kind of froze their guy. But we had said all along, we don't think they're going to do much offensively. We're going to play well on defense. So even if we give them the ball here, just talking to Louis before, I said, Louis, we're going to do it right here. He said, let's go. He was, great confidence in his defensive guys.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's two schools of thought there. If you kick it deep, hey, they're not moving it that way. But then if you take the chance and you don't get it, you have confidence you're not going to allow them to score either.
Yeah, and we felt good about that. So I was okay with it. I like it. We got to be able to do some things sometimes to create some momentum swings, but it also shows confidence. I told the team we were going to do it, and it shows confidence, I think, when you step up and say, you know what, we believe in you, and we expect you to be able to do what we need to do. If it doesn't work out for us, then and they do it, then more power to us.
Lions then put together a nice drive, make the score 10-3 late there in the second quarter. They do a good job holding them as well. And then I do want to talk about that sequence right before the half. We have the football, we have a couple of incomplete passes, and then we have a punt blocked. And it looks like we really dominated the whole first half, and they had a chance right there to even this thing up right before the half. But again, your defense rose to the occasion.
Yeah, stepped up again, Alan. Made play after play after play, and it happened all game long. They couldn't get anything going on offense, and I think I attribute it to us. I think our guys did a super job. Again, the defensive staff dialing up some stuff, but then our players executing what we needed to execute.
Let me go through something. This is unbelievable. Let's jump to the second half real quick. I want to talk about how good our defense was in the second half, just so those that don't realize. This is the McNeese drive charts. 3 plays, -8 yards. 4 plays, -19 yards. 3 plays, -15 yards.
Nice.
3 plays, -7 yards.
I'm loving this.
3 plays, -1 yards. They had 5 consecutive possessions in the second half where they had negative yardage. I don't know if, because at one point, I know I had just read the statistics for halftime, and then Mark on the radio gave the statistics like where they were total yards. I said, man, they're backwards. They have less now than we went at halftime, but it was almost like we were in the huddle with them back there again. I keep harping on it over and over, and I think they deserve it. It was unbelievable how well we played defensively, and they just couldn't get anything going on offense, no matter what they tried to do.
But it was us, and I keep going back to that. They're a good football team, and I'm sure they'll get in the playoffs, and hopefully they'll make a run and represent our conference well. But on that day, that was about us. And it wasn't about them. And our guys played well. Well, I give good teams credit, and I give McNeese credit, and I give their program credit. But on that day, that was about us. It was about us getting it done.
Let's talk about a couple of big sequences offensively. One was in the third quarter. I thought a big drive in the game was one where we didn't get points. We ended up getting stopped on 4th down, but we got the ball inside of our 5-yard line, chewed up a lot of clock, and moved the ball all the way down the field and flipped the field. I thought that was a big sequence. It's still a one-possession game there. They have us pinned back. And we moved it out. Nobody's done that against them all year.
Our offensive line came off the field after that series. They were dejected, but then they were encouraged because they told me, just keep running the ball. We've broken them. And when you know that you've done that to your opponent, that's when you really feel good. So they felt like, just keep going, Coach. We'll get it next time. Just put the ball in our hands, and we did.
Well, as you said, the best drives of the game were late in the game.
Yep.
We go 15 plays, 69 yards. We get stopped on 4th down, but again, that was a big sequence in the game. Then we go 3 plays, and on a 3rd down and 1, Juice breaks it, and that's kind of when you felt the floodgate open. You felt like, hey, the pressure's off a little bit. It was really, really tight. Got it out to a 2-score game, and at that point in the game, when it was 17-6, it felt like it was 70-6. I just didn't feel like they had any chance to score.
Yeah, and you look at that, we're 3rd and 1. So when we said going into the game to get ourselves in manageable 3rd down situations, not 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. Get us a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. That was a 3rd and 1. And we had everybody blocked except the Mike Backer. That's Juice's guy, and he made him miss and took off to the end zone. Nigeria Jackson did a heck of a job, blocked his guy all the way through the back of the end zone back there after running him off. So it was really a team effort, group effort on that one.
Lions add a couple of field goals there late and continue to hold those guys out of the end zone. So the Lions win this one 23-6. One thing we do have to talk about, that because it's going to affect the next week's game, is you hate to see it, right at the end of the game, Darren Johnson gets that targeting penalty, and he will not be available in the first half against Nichols.
Yeah, he'll miss the first half. It was on the block punt, and he went to make a tackle, and they call it helmet to helmet, and the rule's the rule. I don't understand it most of the time, but the rule's the rule. So we just got to live with it.
I know that I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, but this rule.
Yes,
this
you
rule,
are.
I am. This rule has. I just don't like the rule. I mean, and I know we have to play by it, but I mean, what is your assessment? I mean, there's 30 seconds left in the game, and now we have a kid that this is his senior game, his last game ever in college. He has to sit out the first week. I just don't like the ejection part of the rule.
Yeah, you'd like it to be modified a little bit if there's a way to.
I mean, I understand the point.
Yeah, I mean it's about player safety, Alan. We got to do a good job of that, and we teach our guys how to tackle and how to do the right things. But I think sometimes we lose some in either the interpretation or the translation of the rule. Sometimes it gets lost, even on a play that's reviewed, and that's a play that's always reviewed. And even on those, sometimes you kind of shake your head and can't understand it. But it is what it is, and if it's for player safety, we got to continue to develop ways to make sure we take care of those guys.
No doubt about it. Lions win this one 23-6 over McNeese State. Before I let you get off the stage here, and we talked to some of your guys that are in the house here tonight, I got to ask you, what does this win do for your team? I mean, they got to have a little extra bounce in their step this week as we go into the bye week and get ready for that season finale. This is a big win over a good opponent.
Yeah, it was. We're looking forward to it. But again, it sets up what we've been doing all year long, which is growing and continuing to get better. That's what we wanted to do all season, was just grow, just continue to work hard and get better and develop some type of an atmosphere around that locker room where our guys know they can count on each other. And I thought that this was a big come together week for us. You saw it come together. You saw it come together out on the field, and so it's good. So this week will be a regular week of practice for us. We'll do everything the same way, and going into next week for a short week against Nichols. But we expect to build on it, be better next week than we were this week. That's our goal.
How tough was it playing 10 weeks in a row?
You don't look at it like that. You take a deep breath and you go. You'd like to have a few guys that maybe from the training room standpoint maybe get a little bit healthier, but it is what it is from that standpoint. This is going to come at a good day. We'll be able to go get out on the road, catch some high school games, watch a few players, and make some contacts there. But you're staying one step ahead of everybody else by not having the open date. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So you got to play them, man.
Well, there you have it. Lions win 23-6 over McNeese State. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. We'll have more right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face. Hey, you don't know me. You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter. Shortstop.
High jumper. Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
Hey Lion fans, I'm Frank Scelfo, the head football coach for your Southeastern Lions. It's important for us to excel on the field, but it's even more important for us to recognize our great community partners.
That's why we have this exciting new promotion here at Big Frog with Southeastern Athletics.
Come by our Big Frog location on Southwest Railroad Avenue for exclusive Frank Scelfo design shirt.
That's right. When you wear your exclusive shirt to any Lions football game at Strawberry Stadium, be sure to stop by the concession stand to claim your free order of nachos for being a proud supporter of Southeastern Athletics and Big Frog.
So hurry on down to Big Frog at our Hammond location and pick up your shirt today.
Lion up and frog on!
All right, welcome back to Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Toplar on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. I'm Alan Waddell. Lions win this past week, 23-6 over McNeese State. They'll have their bye this weekend, and then Thursday night game against the Nicholls State Colonels to wrap up the season. At this time, we're going to welcome to the show defensive coordinator for your Southeastern Lions, Coach Louis Chofie. Coach, thanks for stopping by, spending some time with us. I know usually on Monday night you guys are grinding and working, but with the bye week this week, get a chance to come by and spend some time with us.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to be here. I'm very, very excited about it.
No doubt.
Let me just clarify one thing. That performance was all coaching.
Well, if so, this is one to take credit for. It was certainly a dominating
honestly,
performance.
When I met with Coach Scelfo at the Senior Bowl and he asked me to come here, it was always about the players. And my job as a coordinator is just to put the players in position to make plays. But from the first meeting we've met with the players till now, I continue to tell them I'm not going to make one tackle, break up one pass. It's all about them. So I'm so proud of that performance.
It was a great performance, no doubt. One of the most dominating performances really in school history. I mean, when you look at the quality of the opponent and the stats, again, 28 carries, only 21 rushing yards. But, Coach, I want to talk to you a little bit. I know you've had a ton of – I'm looking at your resume, before you're coming on here today. I know you've had a ton of experience at the NFL level. It's been a long time since you've been at the college football level. Talk about that adjustment, coming from the NFL game now down to college football.
Well, there are quite a few differences. The biggest thing I had to get grips on is that the quarterback at this level is very dangerous. In the NFL, there's not very many teams that run zone read. Here you have to account for the quarterback every single play. In the NFL, because those guys get paid so much money, they don't like them getting hit. So they show that stuff, but there's very few teams that allow the quarterback to run like they do at this level. The second biggest thing for me is the amount of time you get to meet with the players. In the NFL, they don't have to go to school. They don't have to go to study hall. They don't have to do all those other things. It's all football all the time. So you have to be really good. You have to be very organized. Your plan has to be concise, and you have to be able to get your message to them in the 20-hour rule, which is a big difference.
No doubt about it. We're talking with defensive coordinator Coach Louis Chofie here on our program. Lions were dominant this past week on defense. I want to talk about your unit a little bit. I know this week got after the quarterback. Got 5 sacks in this one. Certainly, if you can affect the quarterback, and again, you just mentioned it, this quarterback was not as mobile as maybe some quarterbacks we have seen.
And just like the LSU game and games that we've played this year where the quarterback is not as mobile, I'm more comfortable in that arena. But I will say this. Our game plan this week, we had to prepare for 2 guys because Ogeron's son was more mobile than their usual starter. So we had packages in place for both.
Well, Coach, what adjustments – I think it's interesting listening to you talk about this, about how the differences between the 2 games, what adjustments have to be made maybe to defend those mobile quarterbacks a little better?
Well, you just got to really – the biggest thing in some of the issues we have early in the year, when you have a mobile quarterback, you really have to be sure that they're contained on passing downs, even when they don't run the ball. And we've had some issues early in the year, and I think in this game we did a really good job with the energy of our pass rush, staying in our lanes and mixing in some blitzes and not letting that quarterback run wild.
Coach, have you enjoyed the challenge coming from the NFL down to college football?
I love it. Coach Scelfo is a great guy to work for, and he's done wonders for this program. I mean, anyone who comes and sees what we've done at the facility with the nutrition station and just all the little things, again, it's all about the players. And he's conveyed that message, and this is going to be a dominant program for years to come.
What about recruiting? How do you like that?
I enjoy recruiting. I tell you the other thing I really enjoy, which I didn't know anything about till I got here, was Twitter. I can tweet with the best of them now. As a matter of fact, I hope.
Throw out that handle. What's the handle?
I'll tell you what it is right now.
You don't even know it? You got to look it up?
I'm not that good.
We're talking with Coach Louis Chofie, defensive coordinator here for Southeastern Louisiana. Come on, pull it up there.
There it is, right there.
Let's see what we got. Oh, this is a tough one because I know you go with a short name.
That's my real name, Sigismondo. That's my birth given name right
all
there.
Right, so here we go. At SIGISMONDOCIOF 1.
Correct.
I have a hard time believing that you had to put that 1 at the end.
Well,
that somebody else had that name.
That was another coach just helping me for the first time when I got here, and I said, "Hey, I don't know anything about this. Just set it up for me."
So there you have it.
I'm on this 24/7.
So there we go. Twitter right there from Coach Chofie here for Southeastern. Coach, congratulations certainly on a big time performance this past week against McNeese State, and I guess I know that you're probably. I don't know if you've dove into Nicholls yet. We're going to talk more about those guys next week, but this is a big game around here, and you have a quarterback that was first team preseason all conference and Chase 4K that you're gonna have to get after. He can run the football and throw it as well, but I don't know if you've had any chance to look at those guys yet.
A little bit, and I will say this: I've been a part of rivalry games throughout my career. Jet Giants. I was with the Bengals. The Steelers was always a big deal. Cleveland was always a big deal. The Battle of Ohio, and I didn't really appreciate what this last deal with McNeese was going to be, and I kind of feel like this week come up is going to be the same. So I'm actually very, very excited for it, and I think it's going to be a very, very important game for us, recruiting, and just like Coach Scelfo said, to continue to have our program going in the right direction.
When I pulled Coach Scelfo to the side at the press conference today, I said, "No, I don't really like McNeese, so we need to win this game." And I was certainly happy to get that victory. Before I let you go, I got to ask you: you've been all over the country. How are you enjoying living in South Louisiana?
I love Hammond, America. I tell you what, this is a very unique place, and who knows how long I'll be here, but I'll tell you this: I'll never forget this place. One Sunday morning after church, I went to Lee's Diner, and it was before they were open, and I thought it was one of the most amazing experiences. I was sitting down in the parking lot, and there were 5 people ahead of me in line, and not one of them talked to each other or did anything. They just stood in line, and as soon as that door was open, they all went to their spots, and they had ordered right when they walked in, because they must go there every day. Their coffee was ready. The waitress gave me a menu, didn't give them anything, and I thought I was in the Twilight Zone, but it was just so unique. And the people here are awesome. The support for the football team is amazing. Our mascot's sitting right there. He's at every practice. Rain or
Coach
storm.
McGee, who was just talking about.
So it's awesome. It just has been an amazing experience for myself, and I'm just so happy for our kids to be able to finish the season this way. And if we can finish this week like with a win next week, it'd be awesome.
Well, Coach, thanks for stopping by and spending some time with us. Defensive coordinator Louis Chofie for your Southeastern Louisiana University Lions. Defensive coordinator. Just put up a dominating performance against McNeese. Coach, thanks for stopping by and spending some time with us. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have more right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
Hey Lion fans, we're ready for another exciting year of women's basketball. Get your season tickets now and line up.
Domestic violence and sexual assault is an issue affecting college campuses all across the country.
Every student has the right to pursue an education free from violence.
As a coach and leader of young men
And women, I know I play a pivotal role in creating the culture our students live in.
Here at Southeastern, we are committed to changing the culture. Sexual violence and physical abuse are never okay.
Lions just don't stand by. We act.
I am pledging to do my part.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am,
I am the solution.
and I will set the expectation.
All right, welcome back. Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. We just heard from defensive coordinator Coach Louis Chofie, and now we're going to be joined, another special guest here tonight, by Michael Spurlock, who is the wide receiver coach here at Southeastern. Yeah, it's that Michael Spurlock.
Yes, thank y'all for having me.
No doubt. 8-year NFL veteran, and also was a star at Ole Miss. So we're certainly excited to have this guy here on campus working with our wide receivers. And Coach, first of all, I know you're just telling me off the air, this is the first time you've been kind of close to home in a while in your football journey.
Yes, I've lived in a lot of different places, and this is the closest I've been home. I'm 3 hours from the house, from my hometown. I'm 3 hours from my actual house that my wife and kids are at. So it's been good.
Coach, what was the relationship? I know you were with Coach Scelfo at UTSA. What was the journey here to Hammond?
It was funny because me and Coach Scelfo worked on different sides of the ball, but where I sat, when he sat at his desk, he had to look at my pretty face every morning. So I guess he must like what he saw. He brought me to Hammond with him, so it's been good.
After playing, you just wanted to stay in the game, or are you liking this side of the ball?
Well, to be honest with you, I never wanted to coach. You're as a player, you're there, you focus on what you're doing, and it's so much time put into it. And you saw the coaches, they were there when you came to practice, and they were there when you left. And I wanted to be a husband, a father, and just kind of chill out and just kind of enjoy. I did that about 3 months, and my wife was like, don't you want to coach? All right, and that's how I pretty much got back into it. But I think that through my journey, I had a lot to give players because I was a guy that was undrafted. They kept kicking me out the door, getting fired. I get a job, getting fired, get a job. So I had a better experience rather than being a first rounder, something that I can give a player that, hard work does pay off, and it gave me an opportunity to last 8 years in the NFL. And, I just think if hard work pays off, no matter what you're doing in any job, if you work hard at it, eventually, you'll get good results out of it.
I think that's very well said, no doubt about it. And I know Coach Scelfo told me, he said, hey, I'll tell you what, he could still go. So I don't know if he could line up there and play some receiver for the Lions. But talk about your group a little bit. I think that you certainly have some guys that are having some nice years.
Just as a whole, those are like my babies. I have 6 kids of my own, 4 girls, 2 boys. And like I tell them, my kids are not here. Y'all are my kids now. So just spending time with them, and I don't know, I've always been the underdog. When we first got here, all I heard was how bad the group was. The guys couldn't do this.
Well, they weren't catching any passes. It was a run first.
Well,
offense.
I was mad for them because if you play receiver and you got to block and you don't catch any pass, I've heard of no block, no rock, but I've never heard of you never catch a pass. So that was the biggest thing. The guys were griping about not catching passes, but like I told them, you got to go out there and still block, but we're gonna find a way to get you the ball. And just look, Juwan Petit, he only did special teams, and look what he's done. Najir Jackson, look how he's come on. CJ unfortunately ended up getting hurt. You got Jake and Graffer, you got Austin Mitchell, Jocko Price, Shiron White, and the list goes on and on. I'm thrilled what my group has done, but we have so much work. We're just scratching the surface right now.
I thought a unique situation was, and I think you can relate to this because, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you play quarterback at Ole Miss?
I did. I had the opportunity to play behind Louisiana guy. I call him E-Man, but Eli Manning. I got 3 years to be around him and play behind him. So
I guess that's where my question was, is what the kind of the transformation, what we're seeing with Lorenzo Nunez. Talk about maybe that transition, because that's something you've done.
I did it, and I did it at the highest level, and I think he's doing it at the right time to be able to get that practice. He's a lot bigger than me, and we talk about it and joke about it all the time. So I think he's finally, getting to the point where, like, okay, let me really grasp it and just see, can I take advantage of it? And, you just see when he's played, he's helped us out tremendously. I think he's going to be a great asset next week as well as all next year. So I'm just waiting to where he can kind of be in my room and just see how he can evolve.
We're talking with Michael Spurlock here, wide receiver coach for Southeastern Louisiana. Lions are coming off of a big win this past week, 23-6 against the McNeese State Cowboys. And I know that Coach Chovy just said it, Coach Scelfo talked about it, but this was a big game. This was a big-time win for this team this past week against a good Cowboy team.
It was a very big win. I'm just happy that the fans got to see what we saw from the time we got here. Those guys working hard. We wish that it would have happened more collectively, but we finally put the pieces together as a whole, special teams, defense, offensively, and, I mean, we got a big win against some guys that we don't like very much.
No doubt about it. And then we get another opportunity to wrap up the season against Nicholls State down in Thibodaux, and it's another stingy defense. You know, the top two defenses in the league was McNeese and Nicholls State, so you're going to have another challenge on your hand. We got a week off this week within the short week that week to Thursday.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. We did get a week off, but we go in just like we're about to play a game, and just preparing guys is just a bonus week for us, and continue to prepare and continue to get better. It's an opportunity for the young guys to kind of get some practice in and just continually progress the team in the direction that we want them to go. So,
Coach, before I let you get off here, we're talking with Michael Spro. Before I let you get off the air, I want to ask you, you played in the SEC, you played in the NFL for 8 years. What do you think about the quality of this league? How good are these players? How good are these teams that you're being able to go against each every week?
I'm excited. You know, before I got here, I got the opportunity to work with Pete Golden, who's a Hammond guy, and just learning about guys. I think the league is very good. A lot of people think that, well, you got to go play in the SEC or you got to go play in this league, but as they say, you build it, they will come. If you go play hard and you go put it on film, people will find you. And it doesn't matter where you play. The ball is still the same. It's still the same football. The guys here are just guys that, you know what, they didn't get the opportunity or they had to come here and play. But I think it's very good quality football, and I think it's a lot of gems here.
Michael Spurlock, wide receiver coach for your Southeastern Louisiana University Lions. Coach, thanks for stopping by, spending some time with us. Congratulations on the big win against McNeese, and good luck against Nicholls State in a couple of weeks.
Well, I appreciate you, and thank you for having me.
All right, let's take a break. We come back. Coach Scelfo will come back on stage. We'll take some questions, and we'll wrap it up here on Inside Southeastern Football, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for providing the facilities to meet my health and nutritional needs in order for me to be the best student athlete I can be.
For making game day experiences go from ordinary to extraordinary.
For allowing me to meet new people and build lifelong friendships while competing at the school I love.
For giving me the resources to pursue my degree and the ability to excel in the classroom.
For helping me look my best as I compete and achieve my goals.
Thank you.
Hey, Lion fans, your defending Southland Conference champions return to the court very soon. We are very excited about this season. Get your season tickets now. It's going to be a great year. Line up.
Each summer, student-athlete leaders from the Southland Conference's 13 schools get together for a retreat. Before we start another season of competition, there's time to have some fun and bond. We also share experiences of serving our campuses and communities. Together, Southland student-athletes completed more than 30,000 community service hours over the past year. We pull for each other and push to make each other better. Just part of what makes us Southland strong.
All right, welcome back. Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. Lions win this past week 23-6 over the 11th ranked McNeese State Cowboys in a dominating fashion. We just heard from defensive coordinator Louis Chofie and also wide receiver coach Michael Spurlock, and Coach Scelfo comes back up on stage with us as we have about 10 minutes to go here in our program, and certainly nice to bring a couple of guys with you here tonight. I know these are some guys that are first year in Hammond, and excited about these guys that are on your staff.
Yeah, I mean, when I put the staff together, I wanted guys. You got to be a good coach, but you got to be a good person, high character and everything else. And I wanted people associated with families. Those two guys have. If you met their families, their wives and kids, you'd see how special they really are, and they're raising them. So I want them to impact our players the way they impact their own kids. And like Mike said it best, is that you're my kids right now because mine aren't here, so y'all are my kids. Well, that's how I expect the whole staff to treat our players. Treat them like they're your own because we're not gonna discard them when they finish playing. We're gonna take care of them and nurture them and help them go out in society, become a better part of society, make society a better place for all of us. But always welcome them home. They can always come home. So, I really enjoy the staff. I like the staff. I love the way our staff has gotten along and done some things together. So it's a good group, great group, Alan.
Coach, talk about this week. It's got the bye week. Talk about the schedule a little bit, and then kind of a weird bye week because you got the Thursday game. You don't have 2 full weeks to get ready for a game, but certainly nice to have a bye before a short week on a Thursday.
Yeah, so we'll go. Tomorrow we'll have a regular Tuesday practice, just like we would during the season. Wednesday practice is exactly the same. Thursday practice is the same. We game plan today just like we were playing Nichols on Saturday. So we'll implement the game plan tomorrow with our players during our meetings, and then go out and practice that thing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. On Friday, we're taking our team pictures. So we'll have our team pictures. We'll take those on Friday in the stadium, and looking forward to Colton taking care of us from that standpoint. Then Saturday we'll start all over again. We'll start the week over again with a Tuesday practice. So what we are based down on Sunday, we'll have a Wednesday practice. On Monday will be a Thursday practice, and then finish it up with another Thursday practice on Tuesday, and then a Friday practice on Wednesday. I know that sounds nuts, but to us it makes a lot of sense. So basically we're going to go ahead and experience the Nicholls State game plan twice during the course of the week in practice, and then play on Thursday.
You like a Thursday game?
I like all games. I've never met a game I didn't like. I like practicing. Don't get me wrong. I love the grind of practice because practice is everything for us. We try to simulate everything from a game standpoint in practice. So it's everything. But I love games. I love it. You can't go to a college football game. If you go to a college football game and don't enjoy the atmosphere of being there, and I know sometimes as a fan you get frustrated, but just the atmosphere of being in a football stadium, man, for Saturday or Thursday night for college football, it's just so special. And we got a great place. Strawberry Stadium's a great place to come and watch. And I don't know, I love football.
Well, good.
Yeah,
you picked a good profession.
I
like football.
Picked a great place too.
No
Dr.
doubt.
Crane, thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Crane in the house here tonight.
Yes,
I think your brother was here tonight.
Yeah, he was. We got great people. We got good people here, man.
All right,
the food's good. They come for the food.
They don't come for me. I know that. They come for you.
Man, I don't know.
Lions win this past week 23-6 to McNeese. We have a couple of questions that come in here tonight, Coach, and then we'll wrap it up as we prepare for the bye week this weekend and then get ready for Nicholls State on that Thursday night. Lions have played 10 straight weeks, and they have an opportunity to finish out their season strong and have a chance to sweep the state. You beat Northwestern State at home, you beat McNeese, and now you have an opportunity to go get the Colonels. That's important.
Recruiting is big. We're competing for the same guys, and I think in the past it really hadn't been recruiting those same guys. We're recruiting those same guys now, so we're making some inroads into the high schools, and we're going to create a pipeline of some of those schools and getting those kids here.
This is just a kind of a comment that comes in off of our Facebook feed, but I'll get you to comment on it. It says, Coach, I thought the communication was great from the bench to the field this week. Seemed like players were more ready for the next play instead of still receiving info right before the play.
Yeah, I don't know if it was different. Maybe his perception was that which is good. I'm glad you noticed that from the stands. But you always feel like that's really important to get in offensively or defensively, get into play so that our guys can see it, they understand it, they're able to analyze whether the offense or defense on the opposition is setting up and kind of give them a clue as to what's going on instead of getting in there late. So, yeah, I appreciate you saying that. That's good.
Coach Byron from Manchac says, Coach, what is the biggest area of immediate need recruiting?
I think addressing all areas. We've got an older group of kids. Last year, I think there were 26 graduates. This year, we had 22 seniors. So you're looking at 48 guys who are no longer on your team from just in 2 years. So we got to get some more depth at all positions. I think defensively, our linebacker position is going to be pretty much depleted after this year. We don't have a lot of guys coming back, so we'll have to really hone up on those. We lose 4 senior receivers, so look at that. We got two senior tailbacks, so we got to look at that. So I think there's always going to be, you always not just filling in. But like I said, recruiting-wise, we're going to go with the state of Louisiana first. We're going to recruit those kids, and we're going to branch out to fill in with junior college and transfers. And we're going to get the best players that we can to help us win the conference championship.
Coach, I've heard you talk about this a few times, and I'll get you to comment it here because I've had some people ask me. I know that you've said a lot that you want to focus here in the state of Louisiana. We want a good base from the state of Louisiana. But what's your thoughts on junior college players? On your thoughts on bringing in FBS transfers?
I want the best players that we can get, Alan. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's been I want to start with the high school kids. So I want these kids because they're going to be the foundation of what we're doing. We're not going to have to reload and reteach these guys every year. There'll be a culture that'll be developed, and those guys will be able to carry it through for 4 years. And we'll be able to do that with the high school kids that we're bringing in this year. We've got a good group of commitments that we've got to hold on to because there's a lot of people recruiting them. And but we'll do it. We're going to hold on to them. But then I want to get the best players to make our team not only competitive but to be champions. Which means if we got to go get a junior college kid from New York or California or Florida, I don't care. We'll go get the best player that we need to fill in. Same thing with transfers. We want quality people and quality players. And if they don't meet those 2 criteria, I don't want them here. I want the guys that come here to really have an understanding of what we're all about. And I think that's where I'm hoping the message gets out. I know that with the high school kids locally, what's going on, and I say locally, I'm talking about Southeast Louisiana, we're getting the word out. And the high school coaches have really been, the response has been so positive.
Well, that was going to be my next question. How receptive have the high school coaches been with you and your staff?
We got a lot of Louisiana ties. And because of that, there's a lot of people that know our staff, and the response has been really good. We had some really, and I can't comment on who they are, but we really had some good players at the game this Saturday, put up a great performance defensively, winning the game. We had some talent on both sides of the football that were here, so it made a positive impact on them because McNeese is recruiting some of those guys. Now, the same thing's going to happen next Thursday in Thibodaux. Nichols and us will be recruiting some of the same guys that they'll have in attendance at that game. So putting our best foot forward is so important when it comes to the recruiting aspect.
Coach, we mentioned it earlier, Darren Johnson will not be available for the first half of next week. Certainly, I know you have other guys, Devontae Williams and then Juice Marcelin as well. But you are short a guy, because I know Darren plays a lot on special teams as well.
He does. He does a great job on punt. So he's there and he's on kickoff return. He's had some returns, some critical returns. So next man up. Alan. Sometimes an injury takes place and you got to fill it in. But our guys, it's that attitude. It's that way of looking at things that the next man's got to step up and got to fulfill that role.
Lions win this past week against McNeese State 23-6. Isaac Adame-Berglund was named Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Week, also Louisiana Sports Writers Association Player of the Week. He had 2 sacks and 4 tackles for loss in the game against the Cowboys. And also Jonathan Tatum, he was named Louisiana Sports Writers Association Player of the Week. Special teams, as he was 3 for 3 on field goals. It was a dominating performance for the Lions, held McNeese to under 200 yards total offense, 21 rushing yards on 28 carries, and 5 drives in the second half of negative yardage. Coach, kind of wrap up your thoughts of the night as we get ready for the Colonels in kind of about a week and a half.
Yeah, I like those 5 drives for negative yardage. That's awesome.
I like them too.
This week will be big for us to keep developing our guys and continue to build some things in in our locker room. And we're going to miss those seniors, but as soon as that clock hits 0 against Thibodaux, we got a brand new football team that we got to bring together. So this week will be good from a development standpoint. And then we'll implement the game plan again on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before we go down to Thibodaux. Huge game from a recruiting standpoint. I know we got some student buses that are headed down there. I hope we fill them up and get as many of them as we can. I want the green and gold to be present in that stadium that night. And let's see how it goes. I'm looking forward to another ranked team, and let's see how we do, right?
No doubt about it. Lions and the Colonels, it's always a big game, and that'll be in about a week and a half as the Lions will be off this weekend. It'll be the following Thursday. Lions won this past week against McNeese State 23-6. 23-6 to complete 2 of the 3 kind of the trifecta of the in-state Southland Conference schools in Louisiana. I want to thank defensive coordinator Louis Chopri for stopping by and spending some time with us. Also, wide receiver coach Michael Spurlock. It was nice to have those guys in attendance here tonight. We also want to thank everybody who comes out here tonight and all the people that help us get on the air each and every week. That's going to do it for us, Coach, as we will see you next time right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented, as always, by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. See you next time.